Thankfully, at CES this week, Honda did provide a little more clarity as far as why they're doing this merger with Nissan potentially. Still has not been approved by regulators and everything, so still not a done deal, but if this merger does happen, now we have a little more info as to what Honda is thinking they'll be getting out of this deal. And that's because at CES, Honda's director and executive vice president and representative executive officer, who comes up with these names and titles? Anyway, that guy opened up a bit more about some of the things that Honda is thinking will be beneficial to them if this merger does go through. So he said, "We are still discussing with Nissan how we will proceed. In the short term, especially in the US market, Nissan has large class vehicles that we don't have. So if maybe we can exchange some of these vehicles, that would also be a benefit for us in the short term. Maybe in the future we can co-develop these vehicles, but in the short term, if we need, we can get some of these Nissan vehicles for Honda as well." So this is what myself and many others speculated, in the past few weeks here, was that, just basically filling the gaps in the Honda lineup with things that Nissan has that Honda does not currently. And vice versa, potentially, like Nissan could get a minivan from Honda with the Odyssey, but really it seems like Honda's prize is those large vehicles. So we're talking most likely primarily Armada and especially Infiniti QX80, and having some higher profit vehicles, because those giant vehicles are massively profitable. And so, if Honda can do some giant SUV to sit above the Pilot, and especially for Acura, if they can have something sitting above MDX, that's again some $100,000 thing like the QX80, I mean, that is, a money printer, I'm sure, especially if, again, development costs are already done by Nissan. And you got that built in right there. You rebadge it. And I'm going to call the name now. I'm betting on Acura GDX. I think GDX, fits with their naming strategy, but the G, is aggressive and, burly for what will be a giant SUV if the QX80 is anything to go off of. So we'll see, again, if all that happens. But also, even though Honda just developed their new Asimo software that I just discussed, it sounds like software sharing could be one of the perks as well. With him saying about software development, "This would be quite an impact for us from a financial point of view. If we could have Nissan's collaboration, we could share the development costs." So there you have it. Large vehicles and, sharing development costs on software. Those seem to be the two big things. They also did say, with their prior partnership they already cemented with Nissan back earlier last year, was that, they are planning on also developing platforms together for EVs and sharing electric motors and batteries. So those things have already been something they want to collaborate on. Then we got software now, and we got the large vehicles in the short term. So now the picture's starting to get more clear as far as why Honda is willing to take on this massive undertaking of trying to save Nissan. Because, Nissan, again, they have some great new products coming on their own, but, they're not doing well. I mean, like I said, their executive not too long ago said they have 12 to 14 months to live without this lifeline. Now, obviously, with the lifeline, they're in better shape, but, we will see. To me, it's still debatable. I know those are high profit vehicles, but is that all worth, taking on the burdens and the baggage that Nissan has for a few large vehicles? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think if Honda really wanted to do these things, they already have the partnership with GM, with Prologue and stuff. Maybe they could have talked GM into, using the Tahoe or something if they paid enough. I don't know. But regardless, that's what Honda's thinking right now. And again, we'll just have to wait and see if that merger does actually happen here this year.